Hey guys, it's me again, Snapcos. I'm back for another video, and today I'm doing a second. I'm doing the second season. If I'm doing another, if you've seen one of my past videos I did from before a couple months ago, I figured what if Damien was in the first season, then I'm making another season. I'm making the second part of it if he was in the second season of TDA. And also, since this is basically him replacing Noah. Since Noah wasn't originally in the season, we get to see like a couple changes from the original season, and also, but we're here in the first episode where everyone we return with some of the characters, and for the ones that will take Bridget and Jeff's places, like I said, Damien, because he is basically like the one, like I said. This is basically what Damien was in action. So don't worry, guys. And also we have Courtney. Now the reasoning why me having Courtney 30 is way more simple because she basically sued Chris and the whole show to be turned back. But I'm letting her return instantly since from the episode, that special episode they did to enter the second season. Well, she did it, and she made it through that episode, including Damien. And so from the beginning, we would have actually seen. So this is basically the first episode where Vaughn took cash. It's basically the same way, and this is just still a non-elimination round, so. We are not yet for here, but we are ready for Alien Resurrection. And this is where Gwen, I remember Gwen. Sorry guys, I had kind of messed up a little bit, but hey, don't worry. I came back, and since it's on the original, we have Gwen, Trent, DJ, and Shauna were with Trent. For it. But also since Damien made a far for that season, let's say I think Damien would have had a friendship towards DJ and Yashana, and since he is basically part of the season, he would have actually, I think he would have been part of there with them actually, and Duncan and Courtney will be together. These four are basically together, and Harold is with D-Spot, with D6. Courtney and Duncan are together. And these remaining six are somewhere else, actually. Are in the same place. But if you remember, this is Duncan actually makes it through. Duncan makes it through. That DJ loses his. That basically loses his egg. So it's between these two six out of them, and when they escape from a chef from trying to get to see if they can get immunity, we actually see Damien winning this part of the challenge, including Trent. So basically, Damien and Trent win immunity in this episode. And this is where the double elimination comes from. And since most people want Heather out because of what she did in the first season, so it makes sense for her going home first. But since this was a double elimination, I think since most people want Heather out, I think, and the only one that doesn't vote out Heather is herself. So she votes out Gwen. So this is basically us for Gwen being actually. I know people really want to see one more, but I think Gwen going out earlier right here is perfect. And also, I don't want to make Trent go noon this entire season. Now for the team. Now, since Damien and Trent win immunity, we get to see get to basically see like how who they will have the team. So for Trent, for his team, no, Damien went first. Is going first since he won meeting first, and for the so so that means that Damien tries to find who is perfect for his team. So to join his team. So I think out of these guys, I think he might want to have Courtney. I do see him having Courtney in his team to make it way more interesting, and since she is smart and is clever to do for the challenges. So for Trent, I think Lindsay is the first pick for him. Since even though I do see him picking Lashana, I think he wants Lindsay. But then after that, I think we will get to see Damien wanting to have DJ for bigger strength. So from that, Trent takes Owen. For Damien picking next, he will go for Lashana now. After that, we get to see the Beth go next. After that, we get where we get to see Damien picks Duncan, and I think from the last season, I think Damien didn't like Duncan for being a douche. So, but I think he might want him because Courtney convinces him, Damien, to have him in the team. So, I think we'll get to see him picking Justin again. The same way it goes here. So hey, so we are now up to the teams now, and from the beginning, I think this is the season. I think Duncan will win immunity again for their team. The whole challenge will go the same, but with Damien being here, including Damien. The only people that weren't here in the original were Damien and Damien, since he wasn't part of the season because he came out new. He's a new contestant. Courtney wasn't in the beginning of the season, but because she entered a little bit late she entered basically almost where the merger was started. So those two will help entirely in that. And I think they will still vote out Izzy here. So also I added some of the episodes that aren't basically elimination big episodes, but I still want to talk about them. So in Beach Blanket Bogus, we just get to see like them basically going to the surfboard. And I do see the Screaming Goat Gaffers winning that part. So in the second part, I think that was where we get to see them doing the sandcastles, and Trent still does the idea of him with the band actually, but this time he doesn't go crazy for real. He doesn't go crazy because of his whole obsession with Gwen and Duncan's friendship together. So this would have been a tie, and I think Trent would have actually won it, but I think Lashana will still win it. But like I said, this is a non-elimination episode, so we're moving up to this part. To this episode, next episode being 310 to Crazy Town, basically, where we get to see Trent going crazy now here. But we get to see this is basically where they had to do the first part. They had to land on the horse that really like dried out horse that is done with life. So, and I don't remember who won that part, but I think it was the Killer Grips or someone, or the Screaming Gaffers. Who knows? But after that, they get to capture the other. The Grips have to. The Grips have to capture the Screaming Gaffers, but the Grips lose and the Screaming Gaffers win actually. But now, in this time, since Gwen and Duncan aren't broken up, Justin wouldn't notice this and try to blackmail Gwen actually for this action. So, who would they vote out now? Well, technically, I would say Beth did the worst job, or including Justin. But since Justin had way more plot armor in this whole season, until the merge actually, until his elimination. But I think this is where I do see I think the guys wanted to vote out Beth just because of her being not really most useful than Lynn. They see Lindsay way more worthy, way more trustworthy player, and I think they want her keep her longer in the competition. So this is where she goes home actually. And now from the Chef Shank redemption, they have to basically create. They have to have anonymate one person from their team, and Lindsay did it for the team. For the Screaming Gaffers, I think since Duncan, Gwen, and Duncan Duncan is still angry of Harold, basically. He basically rigged the votes against Courtney, so he wants Harold to do this part. But this first part that we get to see since the original we get to see DJ putting his mama's spicy stuff in the food. Lindsay would have won this part, and they would have won the shovel. So, but also since we get to see basically Izzy again, and she basically returns actually in this episode, and the Screaming Gaffers will lose in this episode still. And now on the votes, well, basically, Damien, Lashana, and Harold are in their own alliance. Lashana, Damien, and Harold actually formed their alliance early in the competition, and Courtney, DJ, and Duncan formed their alliance. And I think Courtney wants Damien out or Harold. Courtney wants Damien out just because of him being a bigger threat because of the first season making this far with him having. He's basically a big social threat along with his entire time being in the first season. But Harold, because he basically rigged the votes against her. But I think she might get rid of Harold just because of what he did to make her farther. So I think this is where, and these other three will vote out. I would say DJ or Courtney. I would say those three will vote out Duncan or Courtney because. But no matter what, one of those two or one of these two will win it against Harold since Harold loses actually. It's kind of sad to see Harold go out here. But now in the next episode, this is where another non-elimination episode, but this is a reward challenge, and this is where like they had to like gather piece. They had to study up night to win to help them for a challenge actually. And for I would say the others would do the challenge. The ones that study up more would be DJ, Trent, Lindsay, Owen, Justin, and Izzy. But for the remaining four, I think those four would be way more basically, I would say, way more observant and knowing that those books don't look right and for the symptoms actually. So, especially Courtney, since she is basically one of the smartest characters also, including Damien, because he would know that it can't be right for him doing this. And for basically, but would these four eat the pizza? Well, basically Duncan ate the pizza. He basically got himself eliminated. But I think these three will win it actually for their team. And I think for the one that will go still to win the reward, it will still be Lashana actually. And I think that like I said, this is a non-elimination episode. Like I said. Let me just bring it back here. Now we are here for the Sandwich Project, and this is where we get to see basically where Chef and DJ's illegal alliance really starts up to attack DJ because he is way more afraid about this. But also, since this is basically where they had to find someone that will kill, they have to basically get someone to. The first part, they have to basically anonymate someone to be the killer. And I would I think DJ would do it still. But for the grips, I think they will have Izzy doing it. So, and also remember from last season, what I did with Damien and Lindsay. Those two are actually in a relationship, but from the part where they had to kiss, Damien and Lindsay are a little bit hesitant to. Duncan and this time Duncan won't do the challenge, won't do the scary part thingy, and Damien would do it. Would get scared. Would be one of the people that would get scared. So I would still from the part of this episode. From the first beginning, they scared a lot of people. But I would say that since Lindsay was carrying more of the team, but since the gaffers basically wanted to make the Grips lose because of them with that horror story that they heard from Chris, so and the Grips will still lose. But I think what DJ did is still noble, and I think this is where he still gets eliminated. And we get to see the match of the disaster. It's not really important, but this is where Owen got injured. But it's still not a non-elimination episode since he's still in a competition. But this, like I said, this is a non-elimination episode. Now for the next from Full Metal Drama, this is where they have to basically hide their treasure chest from the other teams, and from the people that were, since also Lashana had that drink, that thinking that was for Owen, it still plays off on their side. But I would still say that the Gaffers will still win this, and I think this is where Izzy still goes out. I think Trent, Justin, and Lindsay formed their alliance to make a farther from the competition. And if you see here, guys, I put the aftermath, the second aftermath. Even though I didn't add the other aftermath, but I will add one more aftermath. But this is a little bit more major, a little bit important, but not really entirely now. But this is where things get interesting right here, guys. And basically, it's because of this. If you see, Tyler is here. And Tyler basically enters the competition, actually. So, since he really wants to join in to cause more drama, and even between, because the last season he tries a lot to impress Lindsay, but Lindsay and Damien are really close in that, and I think this is where I would say that he will go to the Pips to cause a little bit more drama, and the whole episode we get to see, like, I think these four wanting to vote out basically Tyler or something. Wait, I think Lindsay will be the one that will vote out Tyler, since she is a little bit afraid of talking to Tyler now. Since from the last season, it was a little bit normal in this season, but in this season, I think this is where he goes a little bit crazy. So, and he's obsessing and stalking her entirely in this episode. For the rest, I think they might vote out Owen, because he made it far from the competition, so, and he almost made it to the finals. So this is where I think I would say he goes home, actually. Now for the next episode, this is where $1 million. This is not a non-elimination round, but I think from the pairs of them from those podiums, so I would say that Duncan will face off. I would say Duncan and Trent face each other. Shauna faces off Justin. Courtney faces off Lindsay. And Tyler and Damien and Tyler face each other off. Since from last season, he basically, Tyler is basically jealous and really like wanting to have Lindsay back in it with him. But Damien knows that Damien knows that him and Lindsay are together and a couple already. But Tyler doesn't care. He wants to have Lindsay, actually. Still. But the Gaffers win this. And so this is still like I said, this is a non-elimination episode. So we are up here. So let's bring the other team up here. So now from the $1 Million Babies, I think this is where I think most people would now know that Lashana was talking back to to everyone, and I do see them voting her off actually in this episode. I do see them voting her off now, since Damien trusted her in the beginning, but after him hearing what Lashana said to him, he will be a little bit upset of Lashana talking badly to him into that. So, and now we are up to the marriage. Now, episode. This is basically a non-nomination round, but let's just talk about it. Since from the beginning, this is where like the merge starts, and where like Chris wants, like tells them that the building that they're inside is gonna explode at any minute. Courtney still does that thingy of them like trying to threaten them in their with their lives. Tyler doing that also, since he's going a little bit crazy in this season. He went from those episodes, couple episodes that he entered from the competition. He was basically going crazy, and now from the beginning of the merge, now he's going a little bit crazy. Still, where the non-nomination comes around, but this next episode is going to be the superhero ID episode, where we get to see like what their costumes be, and we already know some characters that were inside in this episode, being Duncan, Courtney, Justin, and Lindsay. While these three weren't in the season, actually, while these characters aren't part of this episode, since one of them hasn't appeared yet, two of them weren't cut early. One of them basically wasn't in the season, so where I do see where Courtney basically wins immunity, and I think most people want to eliminate Duncan. I think the ones that will vote out Duncan will be just these four, since he is basically if he win. Sorry, you guys, but I had a big stutter. But he's basically a big threat during this competition now. And if he makes it farther, him and Courtney's relationship will be a big threat. So I think this is where most people want him out, while these three wanting Damien out, since he's a previous winner and that. So they want him out actually. But there's not enough people to vote. There's one person There's one person that gives the vote for voting off Duncan, since he's a big threat for the end, actually. So this is basically where Duncan is cut now. Now we are up to the Princess Bride episode, where Courtney basically wants to be the princess, and I think this is where like Tyler finally wants to commit that he wants to get Damien out. This entire episode, he wants Damien out and him parting heads with him. Actually, Lindsay is really terrified of Tyler because of this, and I think Courtney would give Tyler immunity for this, to let her be not be a victim. And so they will vote out those. I think this is what Justin will help Courtney out in her schemes to eliminate Damien. And I think that works because I think these two will vote out Courtney, but I think Courtney will beat Damien in the tie. So it kind of sucks to see my man Damien out, but he made it far from my last episode, and he made it far again, which is impressive. I'm not gonna lie. And now we are up to the Got a Clear episode, where it's not really important, but since this is basically a non-elimination round, but it's still part of this. And I think Lindsay will win immunity, and that from Rock and Roll, this is where we get to see someone returning again. And for the one that got out early, I have to give it to to Owen again. Get to see like the first part they had to jam out. They had to like play the guitar and that. So and then for the next part, Duncan basically won immunity because of that. But I think the one that will Courtney, Duncan isn't here. She wins immunity in this first part. Then for the second part, that's where Lindsay wins immunity. And for the next other part, we get to see where basically Lindsay wins. And for the last part, that's where Courtney wins immunity. And I think Lindsay Trent want to eliminate Tyler now. But I think since Owen is the mole and was hired because of Chris and not suing of Owen not suing his show. And I think this is where I think he might want to eliminate. I kind of see him wanting to vote out Trent or Lindsay, but I think he wants to vote out now Justin. Now this is where Justin goes out now. Wait, hold on, guys, hold on. Alright guys, I'm back a little bit, so I messed up on one part, but hey, don't worry guys, I'll be right back. So this is where basically Owen is basically, I think this is where Courtney finds out how Owen is an actual mole of him figuring out that. So I think most people want Owen now out. But this is where they had to do that space thingy, and so hey. But also from the episode of Princess Bride, of that episode where Damien goes out, Lindsay is angry at Tyler a lot now, since Tyler and Lindsay are not in a relationship because of Damien having way more. Damien and Lindsay having way more interactions together. So we get to see like Lindsay flipping over on Tyler. And since Tyler is and this is where Tyler goes way more mad, goes way more madder in this matter. So, and I think he wants to vote out Trent. But I think most people want since Courtney knows Noah is a mole. They vote him off actually. So, but now and this is where they had this episode. This is where they basically have to basically like have an animal. Let's see. They basically have to have an animal with them to make to be in the finals. And Lindsay, for the pairs, like I remember, there was the bear, there was the bear, the shark, the chameleon, and the raccoon. And I think Courtney will still get the shark. I think I would say Trent gets the bear. Nah, I think I do see him getting the chameleon or something. Lindsay gets the raccoon, and Tyler gets the bear. Actually, Lindsay actually wins immunity for this, and this is where these two are in trouble. Actually, so I think Lindsay will vote out Tyler because of him. Lindsay votes Damien. Okay. Trent votes Courtney off, actually. And these two are basically bought out, I would say, people bought out Lindsay, and people bought out Trent. So this is well, basically, I think they would not vote out Lindsay since she basically won immunity. So I think this is where even though wait no, I would allow these two to go out. These two made it far, but Tyler went crazy in this entire season and became like somewhat a villain now. But now we are up to the finals. And if you see the final aftermath, this is basically the episode where we see the final list, who wins actually in the finals. And between these two, the winner will be Lindsay. Lindsay actually wins the season. Will definitely win the season now. And now it's the end. This is basically the end of the second season. If Damien actually entered the season in the first season, and now to the second season. Now, sorry guys if this is being a little bit late because I've been busy over time. So hey, don't worry. I might do more posts. I might do more videos. And this is I stand to close and stay. And now, this is basically I stand to close, and I'm now signing off.